Hello, good evening. Bet you heard me clanging and battering around there. I forgot my black ink pad, so I had to go and try and find one on the shelf. So I've got a black ink pad, so we can get crafting tonight. So good evening. It is Monday, so it is all about monthly make today, and that's what we're going to be playing with, our lovely rainbows. I did say we'd start doing some gifts, but I've not had time to sort it out today. So I'm going to do a journal page tonight, and then we'll get on with our gifts for Christmas next week. So I think, big shout out to everyone who came along to Newbury to see us on Sunday. As you can tell, I'm still recovering from it, but it was a lovely, lovely weekend, and it was great to get crafting with everyone too. So I think that's everything I had to tell you. Oh, we're back on Craft Store on Saturday at 1 o'clock. So I think I've told you everything I need to. I think. So should we get crafting? We are going to be playing with our November monthly make box. So let me move this over there. See, I had to run and grab a new ink pad. Good job, I've left a couple in a secret hidey spot, wasn't it? So I've got my journal out. You know how it goes with my journal. I don't think there's anything I've got to hide from you in here. So we are just going to grab the next clean-ish page. Oh, there we go. Oh, I'd left a post-it note in it. That's unlike me, isn't it? So we're going to use, well, it's clean-ish. I did say ish. As good as it gets in this journal, because I haven't got many pages left to make. So my plan is, hi Lynn, hi Maxine. My plan is we are going, ooh, I've lost my mouse already. Not a good night to start on my mouse, is it? Oh, it's on this screen, that's why. Too many screens. Told you I'm not quite awake yet. Hi Sue. Right, so what I thought we'd do with our monthly make tonight is do a lovely little background using some of our little sentiments. Hide some of this that's going on, and then we'll pop our rainbow on here and a bit of a sentiment. So we're going for simple tonight, I think. Oh, I've touched my camera now, haven't I? It's never going to work. Hi Zena. So that is what we're going to be doing tonight. Try and move my book so you can see it a bit better. There we go, that'll work, won't it? Right, so first up I need to hide some of these messy marks. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a bit of a play with our brush out as well. I'm just looking for, hi Pauline, hi Vanessa. Oh, it was lovely to see you yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday. Feels like ages ago. It's not, it was only yesterday. See, I have slept since then, so it does feel like an age. Right, come on, where's me? Oh, I had another one. Right, so anyway, I'm going to play with my brushos, and I'm going to pop them into one of our little Mr. bottles. So, no good me just showing you what I've got in there. So I'm going to show you how to make a brush show box. Let me grab my turquoise. I actually thought this was empty, which is why I found my pipettes and everything. Mind. Right, let's get going, shall we? So I want to make a bit of a mist. I'm not going to do it over my book, because you know I'm just going to drop something on it. So first up, let's get all our gubbins together. Keep knocking things over. This is not going to end well, is it? Oh well. So what you need is you need your little spritzer. I like to use a pipette. That one looks cleanish. Cleanish water and your brusho. Hi Mum. And a bit of tissue, because I'm going to get this everywhere, I just know it. More fingers and thumbs. So we're going to take our lid off. I'm going to just pop that down there for a second, and I'm just going to dry this bit out here, because the last thing you want is any moisture getting near your brusho. So I'm just going to dry its neck out basically. It's all nice and dry, because we know as soon as moisture touches our brusho it is going to activate, and we don't want that, do we? Just make sure it's nice and dry in there, which it looks. I'm going to keep my tissue now and pop that on top of it. I'm going to take my brusho. I'm just going to line it up on that little hole, though that does look quite wet already. Turn it over. Oh, turn it over, 1, 2, 3, so you can see, I don't know if you can quite see down there, there is bits of brush show, yeah, all the way down there, and I'm just going to grab my pipette and just fill him up. It feels like chemistry, I know it's not chemistry, but you know. I'm going to do my best not to touch the top, because you can see where that brush show is around the top. You don't want it sucking up your pipette, otherwise you end up with brush up your pipette. Nobody wants that, do they? And obviously if it's too dark, pop more water in. If it's too pale, pop a bit more brush show in. There we go. Right, I'm just using water out of my spritzer bottle, but you could use the Michelle, that the lovely water that doesn't go off. I've forgotten the name of it. Michelle, something like that. Begins with a M. Hi Nicola. Oh, Newbury was lovely. Lovely, lovely day. Lovely to see everybody. And have a good natter. You know what I'm like. I like a good natter. I don't think I've quite recovered yet. I'll get there. I'll get there by the end of the week. And it was the fastest we've ever packed up the stand before as well, which was amazing. Even though Mr. Roo decided we were going to carry it all up the steps. But that's a whole different story. Right, so just give it a quick mix up, because otherwise you end up with it. Look at that loveliness. Not done that in ages, have we? They sit there next to me and we never use our spritzers. Right, so where's my book gone? There we go. Right, so piece of paper. What I'm going to first do though is, let me grab that piece of tissue back out my bin. I'm just going to spritz it a few times because I've had the nozzle out. Pop it into a tissue. There we go. Working fine. Make sure you give it a shake, and then we're just going to gently, she says, there we go. Don't want too much, and I'm just going to knock it back with my kitchen roll, because it's a bit bright at the moment. Might not look it on screen, but it is a bit bright, so I just want to knock it back because I want it to be like a happy sky, not a yeah, it's a happy sky rather than an in your face kind of sky. Yep, I think that should work. I'm just going to dry that off because I want my writing with my sayings to be nice and crisp. Didn't wipe my table though, did I? It kind of fits in with the little splodges and splashes we've got on our book already. I'm just going to keep the back of my page as well because it's going all curly whirly on me. And we know what it's like trying to stamp onto a curly whirly page, isn't it? There we go, right. I think that should work now. Just lovely and dry. Let's just flatten out our page. There we go. So we're going for a really, really, really easy background. Just going to grab a stamp base. Then we're going to grab one of our sayings. So I think we used that one the other day. We put in that one we used. So I think I should really look at these the opposite way around because it's easier that way, isn't it, to read them. I quite like that. Mistakes are proof that you are trying, and it kind of goes with our little splodges that are left on my page, doesn't it? So we're going to use the mistakes one. And then we might do believe as the other one. Decisions. I do like all four of those little sayings. There we go. Can't quite see my computer screen, bear with. Right. So, mistakes are proof you are trying. I want this to be my background. I'm not going to do it in blues because I don't think it'll stand out enough. I want to do it in my greys. So I'm just going to grab my smoky grey. Oops. The whole pile nearly went off the table. So we're going to go for a bit of smoky grey, because I think that'll work nicely in the background. And we could always pop a little bit of blue in there as well, with a few splatters in a minute. There we go. So I am going to grab that one. Sorry, my computer decided to just kick me out, so bear with me again, sorry. Joys of trying to do lives, isn't it? It's probably because I'm half asleep, to be fair. Can't blame the computer for everything, can we? Come on, catch up. Me clicking too many things. There we go. Right. Hi, Tracy. Right, I'm back. I can see things now. You'd all disappeared on me. Right, so I'm going to take my grey. I'm just going to do a lovely little background. A bit like what we were doing yesterday. Make sure I ink that up properly. And then we're just going to very gently, because I'm going to have my I was going to say reindeer, that's something completely different, rainbow coming in over here. So we're just going to randomly stamp in the background. Pop another one up here. And if you notice, what I'm trying to do is have a few that are first generation, yep, which are the ones that are sticking out. Hi Christine. So you've got these ones that are really standing out, and then these lesser ones, I don't mind that they're overlapping. Yeah, so your second, third, fourth generation ones, they're all in the background, so we don't see them as much. But we don't want our first generation ones overlapping, otherwise you don't actually know what you're trying to read. So we'll pop this one down here, and then this one can go anywhere it likes, because it doesn't interfere with that one that's stamped. Yeah, hope that made a bit of sense. Yep, so we've got mistakes are proof that you are trying. They are indeed. Right, so I want to do a little bit of splattering on the top of this, only because I think it's I know it's going to sound daft, it's looking very blue, and I know it's because we've just used blue, but you know what I mean. We want to add a little bit more to it. Not quite got enough texture in that background. So this is where things like your dotty stamp, or I'm guessing the cracked one would look quite, oh, cracked one is like lightning or something coming in. But it is Monthly Make Monday, so I am just sticking to what came in the box. So on my desk I have got some salty ocean. I know I'm sticking with my blue, but bear with me, it will work. There we go. So I'm just going to pop a little bit on my desk. I want it to break up that background a little bit, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, I've not got a paintbrush, I'll have to use something different. Hang on. Let me see if I can find one. I didn't get back in to get all my workshop box out. So all my stuff is still sat in the workshop box from yesterday, with my favourite brush and my favourite pair of scissors. See if that one will work, shall we? I don't even know where my big one is. I said to myself, I must pull out my scissors. There's a black gel pen and my white gel pen, and what was the other thing I thought? I must pick that out before I must pack that separate, so I was going to put it with my handbag and then I forgot, so it just ended up in the workshop box. There we go. I'm not sure if I want to bring another colour in. I might actually bring a yellow in this time. I'm going to pop that blue on there. So we're going to dry it off, because remember, if we start now to splatter a different colour, I might do grey. Grey would look quite good. I'm going off on a tangent, aren't I? So if we start to splatter another colour now, all that's going to happen is the little bits that are wet are just going to mix and merge together. So with your oxides, when you do your splattering, make sure you do one colour, heat it, seal it, and then you move on to your next one. And it also means you can tidy up your desk as well as you go. Yeah, just make sure we get all these little dots. Next, the last thing you want is to, oh, I've just melted some Angelina there, is to do these lovely splatters and then them all mixed to like a muddy colour. No, 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 we want them nice and bright. I'm going to go for a grey, because if you think about mistakes, sometimes that can be like cloudy, can't it? So if I can quickly see my hickory smoke, there it is. Oops, maybe not. My arms are never as long as I thought they were. I had to stretch even longer. Oh, he's gone juicy, hasn't he? There we go. Very juicy tonight. That's fine when we want to come to splattering. I'm not going to go as over the top with this one. You see, I'm trying to concentrate it more around our words. Oops. There we go. I didn't go as wild with that splattering. Just a few little ones. And it hides all these little bits that were a bit of a mess. You know, those bits that have come from the page before. There we go. Let's just pick up our splatters. You can see that hickory smoke does tone in really well with our... There we go. I'm just going to dry this one off as well. Let me see if I can move that Angelina fibre that I've kind of melted. We were talking about tablecloths yesterday because I'd forgotten to take my craft mats down with me. We were virtually on the M6 when I remembered that we hadn't got them. So it was like, oh, it's okay, we'll use the tablecloth. And then we opened out the tablecloth and it was like, yeah, there's a reason we use craft mats on top of the tablecloths. But we got around it. It worked in the end. The tablecloths weren't much cleaner by the end of the day. So. One of them was really bad. It was a good job we didn't have two tables. But the other one, it was alright. Right, there we go. I think that is quite nice. So my idea is, let me grab this one. We're going to have our lovely little rainbow coming in. I'm not going to drop him down because, well, you never know if he should be clean. Well, he's not clean, but you know, he's not wet. I'm going to pop that down on there, and then we're going to put one of our little sayings coming in here. So what I'm trying to do is decide, am I going to stamp him whole, or should we cut him off a little bit? And then it can look like he's kind of fading away. I think we'll stamp him whole actually. And then if we're quick, we might get a little index card book where we will stamp him in half. So let's grab him. Does he fit on that stamping block? I doubt it. We will see. Oh no, nowhere near. There's got to be one on the desk it'll fit on. Oh, I lost my pens off the edge of the desk. That's not a good start, is it? There we go. It'll fit on that one. I've lost some pens down the back of my desk. That's different. So I'm just going to use my poly mount because I can't find one of my bigger ones. I think we've gone a bit blurry, haven't we? There we go. I'll soon bring it back. Ooh. I need muscles today to pull that off. So I'm going to splat that on there. And then, ooh, decision time. Do I stamp it, or do I stamp it and cut it out? I think I'm going to cut him out. I'm going to stamp it and cut it out, and then we're going to pop our little saying on here. Yeah, I'll do that. Right. You've all gone really quiet tonight. Unless everybody's tired. I know it is Monday after all. That'll do. It's quite a big scrap then, isn't it, for me? Don't think that was meant to be in the scrap drawer, but we'll use it. Oops, I've got a bit of fluff there. Let's get rid of that, otherwise we'll get a lumpy bumpy mark. Get rid of that bit there. Perfect. Right. Got any more fluff on him? Sure. Oh, see, you've got a big blob of fluff there as well. What else? What am I doing tonight? Looks like glue or something. Eek. This is what comes when you don't put your stamps away properly. Right, there we go. Right. Just uncover that little bit again. And let's give him a quick stamp. Stamp it down here because I've just put a big inky pinky mark up on that top bit. Oh, decision time again. What do we colour this in with? Do we use our pens? I think we used pens last week, didn't we? So I might... Well, we've used Brusho so far, haven't we? Might as well keep going with Brusho. There we go. So we'll pop that down there. And then I think we will use our Brusho again. So we've got our lovely little, oops, calendar. You can hear me clicking away, can't you? My computer keeps going to sleep for some reason. So we want red, orange, gamboge for yellow. There should be gamboge on my desk. Oh no, there's a lemon. We'll use that. Yellow, green. We'll use turquoise. And we need purple. Where's my violet? There it is. There we go. So we've got some Brusho colours. We don't need much. I'm going to do this the opposite way around, so I normally do as well. Can't get the pins out. What should I do with that paintbrush we just had? Let's move that out of the way before I cause some damage. So I'm going to start on the outside and work my way in. So I only needed 4 colours, didn't I? 5 colours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colours. I've not dried this with my heat gun, so I just need to be a little bit careful near my black lines. Because Versifying Clair does take a while to dry. And if it's not dry when you start to do things like this on it, it will start to bleed. So I'll do the red and then we'll dry it off. Put that there. If I dried it now, I'd never get my colours to match. It's weird as well painting with a completely different brush to what you're used to. My own fault because I may or may not have sat on the settee this morning and then somehow, I don't know how, I might have lost a few hours, you know, because I was like resting my eyes. I did not sleep, I just, you know, may have lost a few hours. the clock's all jumped rapidly forward to like school pick-up time. That's what I'm going with anyway. The paints, they're actually little tubs of Brusho, so we're just using our little Brusho. So I should have told you what colours I had. I had Os Red, Orange, Lemon, Emerald Green. Basically I just grabbed the colours that look closest to my rainbow, Turquoise and my Violet. And the reason I should have really heat set my VersaFine Clair is it does tend to run if it gets too wet before you've popped a heat gun on there. So if you're naughty like me and forgot to do your heat gun, you are running the risk that that black will just bleed a little bit, which is why I'm being a little bit more gentle than I would normally. I'm not using my favourite paintbrush, am I? So that's my excuse why my painting's a bit shoddy today. But we'll grab the heat gun in a second. Once I finish the red, we'll grab the heat gun before we do the other colours, because then we know, you can see here where it's just decided to bleed a little bit. Yeah. Oh, yep, they're just Brusho. So Brusho Pure Pigment. Little tubs of loveliness. They are fabulous. It's the same stuff as what we put in our spritzer bottles. So many different ways to use them. We haven't done a Brusho session in ages, have we? Because you can paint, you can use them in spritzers, you can mix them with other mediums, pop them in your glossy accents, all sorts. There we go. Right, we've done our red. Let's get it out of my paintbrush before I forget. Oh, there wasn't much in there, was there? Told you how dry I wanted my paintbrush. I tell you, this stamp set is really pushing me because I'm having to use red, and you all know what I'm like with red. Evening, Noala. I love my brush shows too. They are fun. And it is really interesting, isn't it, as well, that sometimes when you pick up a colour you've not used in a while, like I think it was it Crimson I used the other night, and I forgot it had that lovely purple in it, because I don't paint that intensely with them. Right, so I think now my VersaFine should be dry. Your son loves them too, absolutely. I was telling the ladies yesterday in Newbury that there was there's only one time we have ever ran a tub of Brusho out, and it was when Crafty Bear decided to take a tub. It was ultramarine, I can remember it because it's like never heard of that you run out of any Brusho. And he decided, we were doing experiments to show force in water during lockdown, and we put a tiny little bit into this little boat that you sent powering around the paddling pool, and before I know it, the paddling pool was being changed to ultramarine. And it only takes a little bit of Brusho, doesn't it? But I still made him play in it, so he might have turned a little bit blue too. Serves him right though. It isn't harmful to kids. I should really say that, shouldn't I? It's very unharmful. The worst thing it does is change you a different colour, because it's made for working in schools and things like that. Worst painting ever. I do apologise. I said that last week about my colouring in, didn't I? Because I have to take my time colouring this little bit in. I've got to admit as well, my gel pen, it stayed in for a while. He was a little bit Smurf-like for a couple of hours, but it was in and out of the paddling pool, so it slowly washed off in the shower later. Won't be the first time he's turned himself blue though. You know, you should see the colour of him when he comes out of here some days. I think it was red when we did that MDF book we did a while ago. And he turned his whole arm red. It seems to come off him quite quick though. So we've got our orange. And if it does stain you, yeah, he was a Smurf. If it does stain you, literally just grab, just wash your hair. I don't know what it is, whether it's the oils in your hair or the motion, you know, that the scrubbing effect from your hair. It does, it brings it off, no problem. Hand sanitizer is another good one for it. Right, really bad. Don't like this paintbrush, but we're getting there. No one will be looking this closely at it. Red, orange, yellow. It is his favourite colour, but he does like red now. Can't remember why he likes red. Oh, because his football boots are red. He just like blue. Everything's got to be blue. Let's have a little bit of lemon. Now this is like neon, isn't it? Because it's lemon. So intense. I could have just picked up my pens. Or my oxides. But you know. I thought we'd have a bit of a brush over bit. See me wanting to go really intense with our colours, but the other part of me is going, no, let's go subtle. No, we're going to go intense tonight. It's that battle, you can see it going on, can't you? Yeah, the little lady's the same. She won't have anything that's pink. Absolutely. You try and put pink or sparkles near her. Whew. So her favourite colour is green. So we either have green or blue in our house. Speaking of which, green. Yeah, any of the like little shimmer, like mica powders, mix them in with your brush out, do work. Or even over the top of them as well. So I know Mum likes to use one of the gel pens. It's one of the older ones, and I have been trying to get it for her and I can't find it anywhere. One of the very old gel pens that's like it's like a sparkly glaze. She likes to use them over the top. But yeah, we could be mixing in any of our like micas, any of our sprinklets, if you wanted a bit of a sparkly rainbow too. I'm still singing that rainbow song, but it's going to be one of those months, isn't it, where I get songs stuck in my head for. Teeny tiny bit. And you can see I'm using the minutest bit of water, literally just enough to activate the pigment. And then just pop it on there. That gorgeous emerald green in there. Let's go a little bit darker. There we go. But you use the minutest bit of brush out. But never ever open a pot. Never. Literally, you need a little tiny hole in your lid. Again, another discussion we're having yesterday. You can see little tiny hole. Never open this bit. Whew. I should be picking Brusho up. Well, you'll be wiping Brusho up forever. And you will be covered in it. I've only had one lady ever do it, and it like literally the lid came off and she was covered. She did find the funny side of it at least. I know, don't take the lid off. Too late. There we go. I'm going to turn that around. Put way too much turquoise out then, didn't I? And I picked up a load of raw brushes then. Nearly done. Oh, then you will be clearing that up for a while, won't you? It's not. It's one of those. It should come with a little warning: do not open this way. The sprinklets aren't too bad, but oof, if you use that, if you open your brush that way, I know. Look at all that I've wasted. I'm a naughty girl tonight. Heck. Got way too much coming out of that little hole. I know, turquoise, wonderful colour. It's nearly as good as gamboge. Just saying. But you can see you've got, because it's what we used in the base, isn't it? So if I grab my book, you can see that's it in a mister. You almost get that chalk. Yeah? That kind of like chalk look effect to it. And then you can get that real intense colour from it as well. It's wonderful. It is. Right. Let's see what scissors I've got on my desk. I'll go on these ones. I will say Mr. Roo did offer to run out and grab all my kit for me. It was dark. It was looking like it was going to rain. So I was being kind. Right, this is where I would normally get my little white gel pen. It's the beauty of brush and you don't need, you know, much at all. They're all saying less is more. It definitely is. In fact, with brush even less is more. With brush you don't need much. A little sprinkling. Right, I do need my scissors to colour that in a bit better. Cut that out a bit better, don't I? So we're going to go. I've got a thing about cutting out this rainbow, haven't I? So easy to do. I know I've knocked out our love heart and I've not coloured him in. We will see what we want to do with him. It's so easy to cut out, you don't need to. And I wouldn't have got these intense colours if I'd have done it on top of that background. Because you'd been mixing, your brusher would have reactivated and you'd have been mixing in turquoise with every single colour. Oops. Right, I'm not going to throw away my heart because we might use it in a second. Come on, Mr. Book. We are nearly near the end of it. Let's get a new journal. Oof. Right, so where's my page gone? There he is. So we're going to pop our little rainbow in like that. I do think we might need to do something behind him. And I want, I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to take this bit off because I want my sentiment on there as well. I was going to stamp it, but actually I think I want to pop it further forward. There we go. Right. I'm throwing this book around, aren't I, tonight? Something rotten. Left the lid off my ink pad there as well. I've buried my sentiments, there they are. So we had mistakes are proof you're trying. We've got you are capable of amazing things, or you can do anything you set your mind to. I think we're going to do that one. Anything you set your mind to. I think we'll have that one. And we're going to stamp it in black because again we want that to be right at the front. It's popping out with our rainbow, isn't it? Let me just wipe my stamp base, it's nice and wet. Get this one inked up. And yes, I am over inking tonight because my hands are a bit sore, hence the gloves. So I am making sure I over ink everything. And it's chilly in here. Well, it was. Soon warms up. So you can do anything you set your mind to, which is quite true, isn't it? Right, so we've got that there. I'm tempted. They do actually, Pauline. They keep them warm, and that's the main thing. And this bit here kind of grips. I know it sounds daft, it grips this bit, so it does help a little bit more with them. Except for when I just turn them down like I did them. But it's the cold. Once the cold gets into my hands, that's me done. I'm actually thinking, and you might shout, I'm going to pop another rainbow behind here. So I don't want it to be prominent though, so I want to do it in grey. And we're going to do it really wishy-washy. So we're going to pop this down here. We're going to have a second rainbow just coming in the background. I've changed my mind on this, can you tell? I had an idea in my head. That didn't last long, did it? And then it gets changed as we go. I'm going to grab this one. I am actually going to clean this because if you notice, it's still got loads of black ink on it. And if I put my grey ink on it, over the top, it'll like reactivate the black ink, so you'll get that mixture of grey, black. You don't want that. What we want is our grey colour. So just give it a quick wipe. I know the novelty of me actually cleaning a stamp. Anybody who did the make and take yesterday will know the colour of the stamp set I was using by the end of the day. Woo. Right, that should do. Like weeks of ground on work in there. Right, done. Let's grab some grey. Where's my grey gone? There we go. I'm just going to ink him up. Which is always harder with the grey because you can't quite see where you've inked up. I'm inking up that heart again, don't know that I need to, but nearly there. Let's give that a quick splat. Oh, those gloves are wonderful, aren't they, Noala? I just have to remember where you put them. Or at least with these, I've got a few pairs that I can just have them dotted everywhere. You know, if it's not attached to me, literally, I forget things. Like my craft mats yesterday. Oh, well, that didn't stamp too great, did it? Didn't ink that up at all. It's quite nice, though. Let's turn it over and stamp that again. Oh, it might be because I used a different colour. Not even sure what's gone on there. Bear with me while I redo. Tell you what, let's see if I've got another grey. Could be that one's actually running out. That's looking a bit more hopeful, isn't it? You can actually see the colour going down on this one. That's why I like two sides of the paper. Put that down there. Okay, we don't actually want this to stamp perfectly, to be fair. Ooh, good job, because I didn't stamp it perfectly. Put that back down there. I didn't ink that bit up at all. Never mind, it'll do. I'm not... I can't decide which is the better one. Let's go for third time's a charm. Right, I'm going to use my big versifying clear this time, just because my hands aren't with it. Right, third time's lucky. Let's do this properly, ladies. There we go. I think my greys have seen better days, haven't they? So let's get rid of the ones that I didn't want to do. I'll pop that down there. Throw that one away. So imagine this was the first one I did. I've just moved my pencils. So I could go back through all my different my brush shows we've used and do a really pale version. Yep, so like a real water wash on it. Or I can just use my pencil. So I'm going to grab my pencil pot, which has got all sorts in it at the moment. So I want a red and orange. See, if I'd have thought ahead, I would have used my brush out as we went through on this. Red, orange. Ooh, don't throw your pencils. You can shout at me for that. I'm missing yellow. Just seeing it. Where's it gone there? Yellow. Green, and we had blue, didn't we? There. So I have that one there. Perfect. Just going to do very, very gently. So I kind of want that idea of a shadow behind it. Would have if I did it where you could see. If we don't like this, we'll soon. We don't have to use it then, do we? It's an idea. We could have stamped it direct to the book. Okay. This is like that little rainbow. You know when you normally see a rainbow and there's like another one in the distance. Quickly just do this one. You think you're getting to the end of them hearts and nope, there's another one. Yep. Yellow, I nearly did green again, didn't I? So really, really gentle. So we want that lovely contrast. Thinking about it, if I stamped it onto my book, it would look good. Yellow, green. I'm hardly pressing with these. It's almost like using a gel pen, just tickling. Just tickling, nothing. Nothing too harsh. No pressure. Yeah, right. Let's go for that one. So again, we're just going to rough cut it out. No. Oops. I nearly cut its leg off, but that'd have been alright. Because we wouldn't have needed that leg. Because hopefully it'll be hiding behind our big bright rainbow. It's going in the foreground. There we go. I'm going to keep my heart again just in case. As you can see, keep moving that sentiment around my desk, don't I? We will stick it in the book in a second. Well, we won't because I don't know where my glue is. So we're going to do something a bit like that. I want some cloud behind it as well. So out comes the floof. We do put a floof. And it looks like little bits of cloud, doesn't it? So we're going to grab some floof for this. If it's molten. I'm going to cut a big piece and then we will. Oops. I've got a massive piece. Let's see if we want to swap it around at all. Huge piece, it's bigger than the page. So, yeah, that's way too big, isn't it? Me faffing. Cut it in half. I know you can't beat floof, can you? I found my yellow floof as well. You're not going to see any sneaky peeks tonight because, to be fair, I couldn't even get in my crafty shed properly. So, I haven't got a clue where the stacks of stuff are. We've literally got one new stamp set. We're going to be taking on some of our old monthly makes because we haven't shared them on there yet, and there are some wonderful ones. So I've chosen 4. I don't want to say my favourites. 4 I really enjoyed working with. So it is the big flower corner. We're taking on the cactus. We're taking on the hearts. I've had a real like rummage through the old monthly make, and I don't want to say old monthly makes because we still use them all the time, don't we? Sorry, I was just fiddling with the floof there. And so I've chosen 4 that I really loved working with. So we've got the autumn one, the heart one, the corner flower, where our corners all started from, and then we've got, what was the other one that I've just said? Cactus. We need to use cactus more, don't we? So we're taking those on, and then we have got what was the other one? We're taking back on the snowflake corner, and I've got a lovely snowflake border because if, like me, you haven't started on your Christmas card yet, it will be a really good one to just batch make a load. Yeah. We're not taking on the Comic Capers one. It was a tough one to choose from. We might take more on next year. We'll see. And we are taking on some more advent calendars. So we have Mr. Roo decided to well, Mr. Roo's got us some more monthly makes. So we've made another batch, not monthly makes, calendars. I told you I was tired. So we're taking on some more calendars as well. Floof, I get mine from what's it called? Riverside Crafts. You get a massive roll. Yeah, it's like it comes on a roll and it's about that wide, literally. It's called Snow Deco Mesh, is what you're actually looking for. It's used in florists, and you really don't need the massive roll that I get, but they, you know, that's how they come. Right, I'm sat with this looking in front of me. What I was going to do with it is, that background's very blue, and I know I said that before. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab, I want some yellow. There we go. I've got mustard seed, and I am just going to, I'm going to have to take my gloves off because it's just sticking to me. There is so many out there, Pauline, that I just wanted to share a few, because I think they'll also make great Christmas presents for people. Because I have had a few people already asking whether we can, saying that they get the monthly make and they've bought them for like friends that craft. So it's like, you know what, we need to share these a bit more. So we're taking them on Sunday, and I've found out today I've got Adam. So Adam's going to be taken through his paces. So it should be a good show. So yeah, we've got another batch of advent calendars and a new Christmas one for some really quick Christmas cards. So a Christmas border. I'm going to leave it that way actually. So all I've done, taken my mustard seed, splattered it onto my floof. It doesn't dry very quick, and I would not recommend putting a heat gun on it because, well, it's just like a foam spray. So you don't want to be putting a heat gun on that, do you? And I don't think the deco mesh would actually survive a heat gun either. Hi Claire, have you recovered yet from our adventures over the weekend? Yeah, I don't know whether I'll be allowed to work with Yanis again after last time. I think we make more video for the bloopers reel than we do for actually crafting. But Adam's always fun. We always get into trouble as well, so that, yeah. And it's Saturday, so we've got the makings of a good show on Saturday, and we've got the lovely Ross as producer. He's fabulous too. So there you go. I think, can you see those little specks of yellow? They're not coming across on screen quite as much as I wanted them to, but they're there, just like little stars. It's just wonderful, right? And then we're going to get our saying in here. Like I say, not got a clue where my glue is. Little lady did admit to coming through my craft room and using some stuff over the weekend. I haven't got a clue where that is. And I'm going to start trimming down my sentiment, my saying. I'm going to pop that on there. So yeah, that's what we've got on the craft store on Saturday. We've got the lovely Adam, we've got the lovely Ross in the gallery. It'll be fun. It's, to be fair, working with Adam is like working with Crafty Bear, so I'm going to have to rethink some of my demos. Because it'll be fun, it will be. Right. This needs to jump out. This isn't jumping out as much as I want it to. So I am just going to grab a bit of coloured in the background. You know me, I normally go for black, but I don't want black on this because I don't think black's the right colour, is it? It's alright, Granny. We will, I'll find it. Rosie told me where it was, and I must remember to bring it out with me. Well, actually, I can give you a sneaky peek because I've got one that's stamped but nothing is done with it. And the question is why that's in this drawer and not somewhere else. Never mind, should we do silver? What do you think of a bit of silver on there? That looks quite nice, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, I've got my foot stuck, hang on. Oh, there we go. He is always fun, Adam, to be fair. So we're going to pop that on there. I'm just going to chop that down a little bit. No, I'm not going to do it that way so it fits in my guillotine. To be fair, most of them I get in trouble with. Trouble in a good way, not trouble in a bad way. It's when the floor crew can't move the cameras around because you've got them laughing too much that you know you've pushed it a bit. Right. There we go. Ooh. So we've got a lovely little bit of a sentiment there. Like I said before, I haven't got my white gel pen. What I do think, because this is silver, we are going to grab our silver pen. Feeling my other silver is in my... So yeah, I'm rethinking some of my demos for the weekend at the moment. So I'll get Adam crafting. Oh, I found a gel pen. Oh, I didn't think that was in there. Oh, no, that's not a black one. I'm looking for my silver one though, because I think that'll look quite nice. Oh, found 2, look at that. Should go through this box more often. Mr. Glaze. Right, we'll use that silver pen. I was looking for the Stardust metallic one. The Stardust one, but we'll use metallic instead. Look at that too. Oof. Yeah, make sure I'm checked in. I'm plugged in this time. Yeah, I did. To be fair, I plugged it into the 4-ganger that's under the desk. I didn't think to check the wall. So I do know to check the wall this time. It's not like it's in an easy place as well on that set to get to. Just makes it more interesting trying to craft with them little stumbles. We haven't broke the set in a while. That always goes down well. I think it was Scott that we decided to, not on purpose obviously, but you know, the whole set decided to fall over on us. So yeah, they do like working with me, honest. So I'm going to use my silver one just instead of, now do I use it as a doodle pen or do I colour in around my edges? I think I'm going to do a bit of sparkle just like that. And of course you can get your glossy accents out to give your rainbows a little bit more what's the word, depth. Yeah, just gonna pop a little bit on here. Could use my glaze pen on this, I suppose. A bit of silver. I started on one heart, so I might as well do them all, aren't I? I am tempted to, you know, in my little gap where I'd normally take my white gel pen round, I am tempted to put my silver in, so I'm going to try it and see what it looks like. Ooh, not too bad. I've used grey and sparkly pens on this one. They're not grey, red. It's funny, isn't it, how you've got a block when it comes to certain colours. They're just out of your comfort zone. So red is definitely out of my comfort zone. But when we're doing rainbows, we kind of need a bit of red. And I've got to admit, this is nothing like I thought it was going to turn out. Ooh, that's quite bad. I'm not quite colouring between the lines, am I? Definitely not quite what I thought it was going to look like, but I've had fun making it, which is the main thing, isn't it? Oops, just make sure you're not picking up yet. I'm covered in little yellow dots from colouring in that floof. Very gently. So remember with your gel pens, if you press on, that's when the ball shoots up the pen and it doesn't give you any ink at all. So you want to be tickling your paper with it, not, you know, this pen isn't really touching the paper. Obviously it's a teeny tiny bit, but you're tickling your paper, you're not pressing on hard, is what I'm trying to say. There we go. actually, sparkles for me. Me and sparkles. I am loving these little bits of yellow on that floof. Just might need to trim my floof down though, because it's a bit wild. Normally you can get it. There's it go. Let's see if we can do it. Normally if you pull it, you can kind of get it to curl a little bit, but it's not playing today. Saying, oh, you've not used me in ages. Ooh, brush over that poinsettia, absolutely look beautiful. But yeah, that's way out of my comfort zone, doing one or two. Definitely couldn't batch make with a poinsettia stamp. There we go. Right, so we've got our floof going on. I'm going to pop one. I said it again. Another rainbow, not reindeer. I'm going to put that down like so. And I'm going to pop that down there. Yeah, if you get the white floof, you can change it. Again, it's like your brush out, it's never going to set the colour. But how many people go around washing, you know, cards and things like that you're going to make them using the floof? But it is a floristry product, so if you've got like a floristry, like wholesale shop near you, you might get it from that. But I normally get mine from Ross Paper or Riverside Crafts. I don't know if they've still got it. Like I said, I used to get them in massive rolls. Got to say, the mine are going down quite a bit. So anyway, I'm quite pleased with that. I've used red brush, so woo! Makes a change. You can get it all different colours as well, the floof. So you get like a black with a gold in and things like that. It's wonderful stuff. I used to use it all the time, didn't I? Probably because I haven't been able to find it in a while. As in, find it in my craft room. Anyway, so what did we do on this? We used a Brush-O in a little mister bottle in the background. We then splattered some ink over the top. We've used our sentiment in the background. So mistakes are proof you're trying. I know we've covered up most of it, but it's still there. We know it's there. We've put some yellow onto our floof. We've done 2 lots of rainbows. If I'd have been thinking this through, I'd have put... I don't think that's quite enough. Yeah, I don't think that's quite enough on itself, by itself even. But putting that one behind it, could even do them kind of. Yeah, you get the picture. But this one, if I'd have thought about it, I stamped it in the grey at the same time I was doing my Brush-O and used a very pale Brush-O wash on that one to colour that in. But I didn't, because I didn't know I needed it at that point. And then we've just done our little sentiment and doodle around the edge down there. I've had fun making that one. I'm having fun with these rainbows. But next week we will start moving on to gift ideas for Christmas or for just birthdays or people in general. So that is it from me tonight. Let me see if I can find this. Oh, I've lost my mouse. There we go. You can tell I'm tired, can't you? So that is it from me tonight. We will be back on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, having a bit of a play. Hopefully I'll be able to share some samples with you when I find them. Show you what the new stamp we've got coming up on Enchanter. I have actually got it stamped out here. Don't know why it's not with the rest of them. I think it was one of my test ones, so should I give you a sneaky peek or should I wait until Wednesday? Don't know. It is literally just stamped, but it is beautiful. If you like the snowflake, you'll like it. Anyway, so yeah, back on Wednesday. Have a bit of a play on Wednesday. Might use the new stamp, maybe not. But yeah, back Wednesday, then back on the craft store with Adam on Saturday. So that should be a bit of fun. You got a bit of a sneaky peek. Should we have a quick look there? So, there you go. Look. Oh, I don't know if you can quite see it. Look at that for a border. I'm squinting because I can't quite see my screen properly. There you go. Anyway, that's the sneaky peek. I will show you more on Wednesday when I have found it. It'll be under one of the piles somewhere. Anyway, yeah, back Wednesday 8 o'clock, and then back on the craft store at 1 on Saturday. So back down the M6 for me. Hey. Oh, thank you all. And don't forget, we have, talking of Christmas, we have the Christmas card swap. Say that fast. Christmas card swap going on over in the groups. If you want to join us, head on over to our group to have a quick look at those. Look at how to join in on that, because they need to be in by the 10th of December so I can swip and swap them and you get them back in time for Christmas. I think that's everything. I think so anyway. So thank you for joining me tonight. Hope you've enjoyed that one. Rainbows, what is there not to love about rainbows? So thank you all, and I will see you on Wednesday. Take care, stay safe.